It's me, Emily, and I am back with another video, and today I am doing something that I never thought I would actually do because I have a dignity to like uphold. In the spirit of all things Hunger Games, I figured I would sit down today and tell you some Hunger Games stories, I guess, that involve me. I guess you could call this a Hunger Games story time. Whatever floats your boat and sails you downstream. Now, if you are new here, then let me just catch you up to speed. I am a very big fan of the Hunger Games, and honestly saying that I'm a big fan might actually be the understatement of the century. I first read the Hunger Games back in 2012 when the movie came out. Yes, I know, I'm a very big fan. I've always been in love with the books and the movies and the cast. See, I've even got on my shirt that my lovely friend Gracie got for me for Christmas. It says, LOL, you're not Jackie Emerson, because even though nobody will probably know who that is, I know, that's all that matters. Yeah, so today I'm just going to be telling you a few stories about my experience with the Hunger Games, most of which came before the movie was ever even out. I tell you these in hopes to entertain you and to make you feel better about yourself, because trust me, you will soon find out that I was a little crazy as a child. So, for context's sake, when I was young, I was thoroughly convinced that I was going to be famous. I don't know why. I just thought I had like the X Factor or something. I don't know. I wanted to be like one of the Disney Channel triple threats, like Miley Cyrus or Selena Gomez. Like, I wanted to act, I wanted to sing, I wanted to dance, I wanted to be all up in your face, all over your TV, Friday night at 8, 7 Central. That was like who I wanted to be. I live in the Carolinas, and they're not exactly Hollywood. So opportunities for this young flourishing star were very limited. And my parents were very smart and like alluding to the fact that I was deluded. But I was persistent. I still had my dreams. One day we were at the mall. I'm not the kind of person who actually likes to go to the mall. I was the girl who my mom would go to the mall, buy clothes for, and then bring them home so I could try them on, because I just didn't want to go. I don't like the mall, still don't like the mall unless I'm going to the bookstore. There's your tea on that. So we're walking through the mall, and all of a sudden I see it. It's a stage in the middle of the mall, and it might as well say, Emily, come here. We walk over and we're like, oh, what's going on here? And the girl that is standing near the stage is like, oh, we're with this company who I will not name because I don't think that they're like still in business, but I also don't want them coming for me. But we'll just say we're this unnamed national talent search. And at that, I was like, God has answered my prayers. They were like, yeah, we're conveniently having like the first round of this competition to like find people and sign them to our agency, that I now as an adult look back and I'm like, was this even legit? After she says those words, I am looking at my mom like, if you don't let me do this, this is my dream, and if you deny me of my dream, we gonna have some problems. To make a long story short, I participated in the first round. I got through, obviously. And then a month later, I had to participate in the second round, which was interesting. We had to like show off a talent and then do like a runway walk, like we were models or something. I have videos of both, which I will play now. I'm very sorry in advance. Yeah, that was that. So after the second round, I found out that I was signed to their roster. It was very weird how they did it, because they were basically the key holders to the kingdom. So by being signed to this agency, you could basically access this website, which had a bunch of like national, regional, and local casting calls. Like you could go through and look and see, you know, what projects were casting, blah, blah, blah. This has been years. It was like Craigslist, but these people's version of Craigslist. Basically, that was like how you got auditioned. You would just scroll and see if you fit anything, and if you did, you would like email the people. It was very weird. And looking back, I'm just like, was this even legit? I don't even know. I was a sucker. I wanted to be famous. You're very gullible when you're 13 and you have dreams of being a star. I would come home after school every day and like look through these listings and look for things that I thought I could fit. And everything that I thought I could fit, it was just not realistic. I lived at the time in Shelby, North Carolina. I'm comfortable saying this because I don't live there anymore. The other reason that I say this is that might sound familiar for some of you who, like myself, were into the Hunger Games. They filmed the reaping scenes in the Hunger Games in Shelby, North Carolina.
And so it explains what the reaping is, what the Hunger Games is, and all that, and all of you are really, really scared because it could be any one of you.
On the day that we shot in North Carolina, we shot in a very small town, Shelby, North Carolina. It was about 110 degrees or something. She does not want to spend any extra time in District 12. And I personally felt that way about Shelby, North Carolina while wearing the wig and the clothes. Get me the hell out of here.
This was a big deal. Through my little website friend, I knew that they were filming the Hunger Games in North Carolina. At the time, the project was not called the Hunger Games on this website. It was called like Artemis, something with Artemis. So not only were they filming near me, they were filming like in my backyard, and they were having open casting calls at like the local mall. And I was just like, if this is not a sign from the Lord above, I don't know what is. The only issue with this whole thing is that the open casting call was being held on like a Tuesday night, and that's a school night. So I begged and pleaded and begged and pleaded and begged and pleaded and got down on my hands and knees and said, Mother, will you please take your loving, wonderful, kind-hearted, deserving daughter to this casting call? And she looked at me and she said, no. So I sighed and I was like, okay. I accepted my fate. So then, this was back in 2011, right? Now we're gonna fast forward all the way to 2012. The movie has already come out. The movie is being released on DVD. I made my mom get up with me at 7:45 on the last Saturday before school started back to drive me to Target so I could buy this DVD. And on the car ride there, we're talking about stuff, and I was like, ha ha ha, Mom, remember that time when they had casting calls at the mall and you didn't let me go? And she was like, what? And I say, yeah, don't you remember when you like denied me of my dreams to become famous? She was like, no, I don't remember that. And I was like, well, yeah, they had casting calls at the mall. And like, you told me that I couldn't go because it was gonna be on school night. She was like, well, if I had known when it was for, I would have let you go. And I looked at her and I was like, sorry, what? Can you repeat that? She was like, yeah, some of your friends did it. I would have let you go. And I was just like, you're telling me this now. So in the same vein of me and my journey into acting, I guess, again, I was very unrealistic as a child, and I would look all the time at the national ones, looking for something that would just give me my big break. And so one day, I was looking through the national casting calls, so that's where I always started, like on my pursuit. Saw that they were casting the lead role for a movie. They were looking for the leading actress, and I was like, it's perfect. The age range was like 14 to 20 something. Yeah, and they were looking for girls who were like within my height range And I was like, I'm 13 now, but I could probably pass for 14. I couldn't pass for 14, just letting you know. I was like, wow, this is it. All they wanted was a headshot and a resume. I was like, well shit, I can do that. That doesn't involve me asking my mother to like drive me somewhere. Like, this is perfect. I don't have to do anything. I just gotta send something in and then they'll come knocking at my door and I'll be famous. I get one of my little headshots that I paid $150 for, and I typed myself up a little resume. It was not all that impressive, obviously. I mailed it off and I was like, yep, gonna get the role. Do you know what role I'm talking about? Some of you may have figured it out and are probably like laughing at your screens. If you haven't clued in, yes, I auditioned for Katniss Everdeen. I could have been the one gracing cinemas worldwide with the bow and the arrow, but you missed out because they probably lost it in the mail. Nina Jacobson probably took one look at my headshot, which if I can find some, I will insert them right here. She probably looked at them and was like, forget this. I know I didn't have a chance. Like, looking back now, I wish I could just go back and just wring my own neck. As my friend Claire would say, a cheetah girl? Maybe. Not a serious actor. Can you believe you almost lived in a world where I was Katniss Everdeen? Damn. So yes, those are my Hunger Games stories for you all. They're not that interesting, but I hope that they entertain you in some way, shape, form, or fashion, because I am planning to upload this for the 7th anniversary of the movie. I have lots of stories that have accumulated over the last 7 years of my life. That's a very long time. If you like me telling stories and just hanging out like we're friends and we're having a sleepover or something like that, let me know. Like this video, leave a comment, do whatever you want to do, whether that is here or on one of my many other social medias that are in the down bar below. Please come be my internet friend. Make sure you hit subscribe. I make new videos whenever I want to ramble. Yeah, happy 7 years to the Hunger Games. You have been a very defining thing in my life, and I love you. Take care. Mwah. Love you. Bye.